And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we prepare for race number 13 of our third season of the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series, continuing our chase for the Pizza Hut X Series Championship, where these drivers are trying to get themselves into one of 12 available slots to be in the postseason playoffs. We're already starting to see drivers make some moves for doing just that, as last week we had a three-wide battle to the checkered flag where K Ericsson was able to pick up her second win of the season. Now, not only does that give her 2 wins in the for the season, but it also jumped her up 6 spots in the standings to 30th in points. So right now, those 2 wins would count towards a chase position. And as things stand, with her and Jordan Anderson being the only 2 drivers that have 2 wins so far, if they both remain in the top 30 in points, there's no doubt they are going to be definitely 2 of the confirmed drivers that will battle for the championship later on this season. So we'll have to see if K Ericsson can keep the momentum up that she has right now. She's got to keep herself in the top 30 in the point standings, though. For Jordan Anderson, not that much of an issue as he comes into this race third in the point standings, but then again, stranger things have happened. He could hit a huge cold streak and maybe drop down outside the top 30, but on the flip side, there are a lot of drivers that would love to be able to pick up their first win of the season. We got a number of them starting up here at the front of this field. You've got A Lagasee, the rookie there in the Chevrolet, trying to go to victory lane for the first time here in his career, as is Phil Parker alongside of him in the number 5 out of Michael Norman Motorsports. Then you look behind them, though, and you've got J Jefferson in the 05, and alongside of him, Chelsea Bowles in the 31. Both of these drivers have already been to victory lane this season, and they would like to join Anderson and Chelsea Bowles, and make that K Ericsson rather, as a 2-time winner this season, and have themselves in a confirmed locked-up spot in the chase for the championship later on this year. This is also a racetrack that can play into fuel strategy. Now, we didn't really have a fuel strategy race in the Truck Series event last night with the fact we had 2 cautions. If we can run clean and green here, though, we could see pit strategy come into play and maybe a surprise winner at the end of this one. So certainly looking forward to that. 41 laps of racing here tonight, same as we had in the Truck Series race, and they were able to make it in the fuel window somewhere around 25 to 30 laps. Without further ado, though, let's go down and get the command to fire these engines up.
Drivers, start your engines!
And, of course, with 41 laps of racing, our 3 stages will be 10, 10, and 21 here this evening. And as the Chevy Corvette pace car will lead the field off pit road to get them ready to go green for the Overtones 301. This is your top 10 in the points coming into tonight's race, presented by Golden Corral. Austin LaPlante still the points leader, 58 points he holds over Chelsea Bowles, who jumped up 11 spots in the standings last week to 2nd place. Jordan Anderson is in 3rd. He is a total of 60 points out. Then it's Elijah Gilbert in 4th, PJ Williams in 5th, Benny Watson 6th, Matt McIntire is in 7th, 8th place Angel Navarro. A Lagasee, the pole sitter tonight, is 9th, and Christian Merrick Jr. is 10th in the point standings. Right now, as things stand coming into this race, as far as the 12 chase spots, 10 of the spots are filled up by former race winners. Only 2 spots right now are filled by drivers that would get in via points, and that's our 2 former champions currently. Elijah Gilbert, our champion from last season, and Benny Watson, the inaugural champion of the series. So if we have another different race winner go to victory lane here tonight, then that puts it down to just 1 driver being able to get in currently on points. I don't think we're going to have any drivers get into the chase on points. I think they're all going to be former race winners this season. We'll have to wait and see, though, as we're getting ready to go racing. Green flag is out. We're underway at Arizona. Let's roll. And last night we had an Allegiant Air Travel Chevrolet go to victory lane in the Truck Series race with Jordan Lopez behind the wheel, and an Allegiant Air Travel Chevrolet Camaro was out in front showing the way in this one in the form of A Lagasee. 3 wide maybe for 2nd. Michael Haas says yes sir, he's going to go to the inside of J Jefferson, make it 3 wide there. Right behind him is Carson Gum in the 98. J Shelly, his teammate there in the 71. Madeline Crenshaw there in the 3. That's a driver that's actually been picking up her finishes lately. Whoa, that was a little squirrely off that corner, was the 71 of Shelly. Keeps it going, though. But Madeline Crenshaw was really falling through the point standings, and now she finds herself 27th in points, kind of stopped the bleeding a little bit, but now has to bounce back. Our Daytona race winner trying to get herself away from 30th in the point standings cut line. Meanwhile, A Lagasee out in front, Carson Gum in second, and battle may be on for second sooner than it's on for the race lead. Crenshaw reeling in the Weather Channel Chevrolet. And then there in fourth place is Glenn Douthitt. Now Douthitt, whoa, we had smoke, but no caution. Somebody wrecked up in turn 3, but there's no yellow flag. And it looks like it was the 12 of Matthew Daleo, and Kyle Langeland's coming to pit road in the 77. No caution though. Tough break there for Langeland. So he's going to bring his wounded Dodge Charger to the pit lane, and here comes the battle for the race lead. Carson Gum has caught A Lagasee. But going back to Glenn Douthitt, what I was going to say about him, he comes into this race 34th in the point standings. He's a former winner this season. He won at Bristol, but he needs to get into the top 30 for that win to count towards a chase spot. And Carson Gum will now take the race lead away from A Lagasee, so move him to the top spot. M Crenshaw going to move to second. Douthitt going to move into third place. Had a good battle going on back there for the fifth position as well. Z Flickinger, who came up just a couple of inches short last week at Phoenix. He was involved in that three-wide photo finish, along with R Reynolds, who's actually battling right now for fifth place. They just barely missed out on winning that race against Chloe Ericsson. Both of them running very well currently, both up inside the top 10. Reynolds was fifth last time by, Flickinger in eighth. Carson Gum out in front. Carson's still looking for his first Pizza Hut X Series victory. He was very consistent back in season 1 when he drove the number 4 car. I think that was season 1. It might have been season 2. And it was looking like he wasn't too far away from being able to pick up a victory, but it just never seemed to happen. Maybe, just maybe, he can have it happen here tonight. Crenshaw, though, starting to reel him in, closes the gap, might be able to make a move here on the front straightaway going into turn 1. For Crenshaw, talk about a way of stopping the bleeding. Well, she had a good run last week at Phoenix, but certainly would help her to be able to put a 2 in the win column. That would not only put her along with Chloe Ericsson and Jordan Anderson as far as multiple win season, but also those stage points could be very important to help get Madeline Crenshaw away from that 30th in the point standings cut line. Reynolds takes away the third position from Glenn Douthitt. And 34 is starting to make a charge up here towards the front. R Reynolds, after that second place finish he had last week, jumped up to 29th in points, and now he's back into the top 30 in the standings. Trying to pick up his first career win. Now going to try and take second place away from Madeline Crenshaw. Glenn Douthitt thought about 3 wide for second, thinks better of it, and instead waits to see which line's going to move between the 3 and the 34. It will be the inside line, and there might have been a little bit of contact right there between Douthitt and the 3 of Crenshaw. Both keep it going, both keep it straight. PJ Williams running very consistently right now, 5th in the point standings, former winner this season, and just trying to rack up points. More importantly, stage points, which he will get right here as Carson Gum gets himself 10 valuable stage points, completing stage 1. We got a couple of drivers here that have wins this season. They're just kind of riding, trying to rack up the stage points. Williams there in 5th, and right behind him, J Jefferson in 6th. J Shelly right now in 7th. Actually make that 8th place. A Baranauskas right there in 9th, and Z Flickinger currently in the 10th position. James Shelly, a former chaser from last season, was a 2-time winner at Kansas and Indianapolis. A Baranauskas was a former winner last season at Watkins Glen, and now they're going to battle with their Camaros side by side as Baranauskas wants the 8th spot. Meanwhile, up front, R Reynolds has closed the gap between himself and Carson Gum, and he's going to try and go for the race lead. Carson's going to move down and throw the block, so no love for the Loves Ford, and now they're going to catch Matthew Daleo. Had that damage from the earlier incident with Kyle Langeland, and RJ Reynolds is going to use him as a pick. Carson Gum gets caught behind the snap-on Ford, and he's going to lose first, second, and at least third, maybe fourth, as here comes Lagasee with a big run through 3 and 4. So new race leader, RJ Reynolds. And this is certainly shaping up like it's going to be one of those fuel strategy races. I thought that probably when we saw that smoke after the contact between Daleo and Langeland that it was going to be a yellow flag and we were going to end up having these drivers not have the fuel strategy race. But since we've gone so far without a caution, the field's starting to get spread out. We could very well be seeing this be one of those classic fuel strategy events at Arizona Speedway. Another driver has just now recently popped up into the top 10, and that is the one of Chris Dollerton. He got around Shelly for 10th, and now he's gotten around Baranauskas for the 8th position. Baranauskas' teammate William Brock, who had a very dismal showing last week at Phoenix, is now up in the top 10 as well. Dollerton hasn't won since season 1 at Bermuda. And he comes into tonight's race in the 28th position in points. We're looking very strong here at this point. William Brock moves by his teammate Baranauskas for 9th, and now cracking the top 10 is going to be Noah Kars, as he's going to get to the inside of Baranauskas, bringing the 17 of Aiden Shepard along with him. Shepard was up inside the top 10 in the points heading into Phoenix last week, dropped to 14th coming into this one. Noah Kars, on the other hand, 15th in points. Had a very consistent year. A lot of people tend to forget that Noah Kars was a former chaser in the Hershey's Cup Series back in season 1. Right now, though, it is all RJ Reynolds out in front showing the way. Kev Shearer Racing Tech Ford Mustang. And behind him, another Ford Mustang out of Roush Fenway Racing. Former winner this season at Bristol Dirt, Glenn Dewitt. And Carson Gum, Madeline Crenshaw, A Lagasee. Now, you got to remember, CTS fall-off is a lot different from GNS fall-off, so while we have a bit of an idea of what the fuel window is for the CTS physics, we do not know what it is for GNS. So no idea when these drivers may have to pit, and no idea if they're even going to have to pit at all. They might be able to make it the full 41 laps. I would be surprised if they're going to be able to, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. The best battle on track has been going on for 3rd place. Carson Gum and Madeline Crenshaw have been battling this entire race, whether they've been battling for the lead or whether they've been battling for 5th. Right now, this is the battle for 3rd. Carson Gum comes into this race 23rd in the point standing, so many drivers that are up here, like Reynolds, like Carson Gum, Chris Dollerton, that with a win, it would put them into one of those playoff slots. May end up having a battle. Nope, I thought I was seeing the 6 closing on the 34, but nope, that is not the case. Noah Poncer, our winner from Rio de Janeiro, has now cracked the top 10. He's up to 9th. Right just behind the Liberty University Chevrolet of Chris Dollerton, and now running alongside the Liberty University Chevrolet of Chris Dollerton. Poncer looking for his 2nd win of the season, 21st in the point standings, not able to quite make the move this time on Dollerton. Now he'll get to the inside here out of turn 4. So now move Poncer to 8th, Dollerton back to 9th. And this group is starting to catch J Jefferson. Poncer, Dollerton, Shepard, Brock, and Kars in this group. And this group producing quite a good amount of speed that's helping them reel in these drivers that are running all by themselves. Poncer about to close the gap between himself and the Reddit Chevrolet. And we haven't even reached 10 laps to go yet. This thing has gone into a long green flag run since the drop of the green flag. And if they do have to pit, it's looking like they will not be benefiting from pitting under caution. They will have to do it under green flag conditions. R.J. Reynolds' team owner, J Shears, of course, having a career year in his rookie season in the Hershey's Cup Series, already a win this season at Dover, and looking like he may be battling in the chase for the championship in Hershey's Cup competitions. So you bet that a lot of his experience has been given not only to R.J. Reynolds, but also to the driver of the 38, Scott Roush. Scott Roush came into this race 11th in the point stand, so they've had a very consistent year as well. Haven't really seen him up towards the top 10 yet, but still been having a pretty good season. And you can bet as well, a lot of the information that R.J. Reynolds is gaining here tonight, he will be giving to team owner J Shears to apply in tomorrow night's Hershey's Cup Series race. The gap continues to increase little by little, not by a lot, but little by little between R.J. Reynolds and Glenn Dewitt. This time by it actually decreased by about 6/100ths, but it seems to be somewhere within the 0.6 of a second range, anywhere from 0.57 to 0.67. So I think the 34 and the 6 are both kind of on an equal playing field in terms of speed, which is good if you're Reynolds, not good if you're Dewitt. If you're Dewitt, you want to be faster than the car ahead of you because that's the race leader. Matthew Daleo going to come into play again as Reynolds has to jerk the wheel hard to the left to be able to get around the slower 12. He will complete the pass, but that may have slowed up some momentum. It also may have worn those front tires just a little bit, having to jerk the wheel as hard as he did. We'll see if Dewitt was able to close up any distance there, with Reynolds getting a little bit held up by Daleo. And this time at the line, he lost. Lost about 5/100ths. Carson Gum, Madeline Crenshaw, they will make their way by Daleo. I believe the only car that's out of the race is Kyle Langeland. No, Langland's still running, they say. He's a lap down. Daleo is 2 laps down, and we do have a driver out of the race already due to a mechanical problem. Benny Watson, former champion of this series, who came into this race 6th in points, so not what the 24 car needed. And Crenshaw finally is going to find a way to the inside of Carson Gum. It looks like the 3 may go into 3rd. Carson battling back on the high side, though. Not going to be able to battle back here, though. So Crenshaw will move into 3rd, Carson back to 4th, and the pit stops have begun. Reynolds gives up the lead to come to pit road. So now it's time to earn your money, pit crews. The green flag pit stops have begun, and they have been triggered by the race leader. Glenn Dewitt, he is coming to pit road. Carson Gum will stay out, along with Crenshaw. We saw what happened last week at Phoenix when we had green flag pit stops in the Hershey's Cup Series race. It ended rather chaotically. Can somebody be able to roll the dice and have the right strategy to be able to knock R.J. Reynolds off the top of the leaderboard? Carson Gum staying out yet another lap. Crenshaw, though, is going to give up 2nd to come to pit road. Lagasee's in along with P.J. Williams. I believe Carson Gum's the only driver now that is deciding to stay out an extra lap. You know, a lot of drivers give up the fact that they're going to lay down a really fast lap time on older tires just for the fact they can come down a cleaner pit road and not have as much of a chance of a pit road incident messing up their chances at a good finish. And now Carson will bring his 98 to the pit lane. So we're going to have to see if staying out those extra couple of laps are going to help or hurt the 98 of Carson Gum. Reynolds was the first car to come to pit road, so he will have the fresher tires, which could play into his benefit in the long run. We're going to keep it on the 98. And see where he comes out in relation as he goes with just a 2-tire stop, right sides only. J Deaver, I believe, also stayed out with Carson Gum, and problems for Patrick Curtis in the 0 as he is slow coming off pit road. I don't know if he's out of fuel or not, and R Reynolds got around Carson Gum. So Reynolds goes back to the race lead, but I think Carson is going to cycle around in second. He's going to split up the Ford Mustangs and move Douthitt. Oh, Douthitt just blew up! Douthitt just blew up while in the third position. And I don't know if that's going to bring out a caution or not. No, we're still green. So Patrick Curtis was slow on the apron coming off pit road. Douthitt, who was third, just blew up. And we are past 10 to go. Reynolds hits the line. He has a 2.8 second lead between himself and Carson Gum. And it'll be 5 laps to go. Well, actually, no, 6 laps to go when he hits the stripe this next time by. So Reynolds is the leader. Carson Gum's in second. After Glenn Douthitt has blown up, Noah Cars is now in third. Fourth place is Noah Ponser. PJ Williams there in fifth. Crenshaw slipped back to sixth. Seventh is now Christian Merrick Jr., who had that surprise top 10 last week at Phoenix. He's now popped up in the top 10 late here in seventh, as now Douthitt is on pit road and he's out of the race. And this is the battle 8th, 9th, and 10th. J Deaver is now in 8th, Dollarton in 9th, and the pole sitter A Lagasee currently completes your top 10. So I don't know what's wrong with Patrick Curtis, but he's been able to get back to pit road. And Glenn Douthitt is out of the race. Camshaft issue on his machine. We saw Patrick Curtis 4 laps down, and Angel Navarro is now off the lead lap 2 laps down in 39th. Chelsea Bowles in 36th is the last car on the lead lap, and she's just ahead of the race leader R Reynolds, and that's Chelsea Bowles, who came into this race second in the point standing, so certainly not a good points night for her. Gap continues to increase, by the way, between Reynolds and Carson Gum. It is now over 4 seconds. So the only person right now that can deny R Reynolds this win is R Reynolds himself, but you gotta wonder if he's a little bit worried, because we saw Glenn Douthitt in third place blow up. Every rattle he's hearing in that race car right now has probably got his heart racing double time. And he's just hoping and praying that the sooner he can see that white flag, the better. 3 laps to go for R Reynolds, trying to pick up his first win of the season in the Pizza Hut X Series. And he has nearly a 6-second lead between himself and Carson Gum. It looks like he will probably bring home that 98 in second place. The best battle's going on for third. Noah Ponser and PJ Williams, who were able to get around Noah Cars for third and fourth. And now Crenshaw is trying to take the 5th position. Meanwhile, Ashlyn Boyd just cracked the top 10, and now she's up to 8th. Great run there for the GameStop Toyota Camry, and now she's going to try and get by Christian Merrick Jr. Good grief, that was close. William Brock nearly just ran over A Lagasee. And Carson Gum just got bypassed for second and third. Ponser and PJ Williams moving into those 2 spots. Patrick Curtis has returned back to the racetrack, but the white flag was displayed for R Reynolds. Down the back straightaway, he could coast if he wanted to, and he would win this race. And it's a lovely day for the Love's Ford Mustang R Reynolds, career win number 1, comes here tonight at Arizona Speedway in the Overtons 301. Big win there for R.J. Reynolds. Last week was able to move himself back into the top 30 in the points. This week puts a 1 in the win column. So R.J. Reynolds now would put himself into one of the 12 available chase slots. And right now, that would eliminate Benny Watson and would leave only one driver able to get into the chase on points. So, with this race coming to a close, Reynolds undoubtedly gets Rookie of the Race as well. Dominated the entire second half of this event, and he will bring home the W. Ponser and Williams, those two worked very well together. They were back in about the 4th and 5th position, finished out 2nd and 3rd after passing a couple cars in the closing stages. Carson Gum will finish in 4th with Madeline Crenshaw in 5th. 6th place will be Noah Cars. Ashlyn Boyd, big run there at the end for the 20 as he's going to get 7th place. William Brock will bring it home in 8th with Chris Dollerton and the pole sitter A Lagasee 9th and 10th. Cole Deaver and Christian Merrick Jr. were running in the top 10 in the closing stages, but Boyd and Brock were able to fight into the top 10 and knock them out to 11th and 12th. Aiden Shepard gets 13th, Zach Flickinger 14th, and J Jefferson will finish the evening out in the 15th position. Didn't talk much about the points leader coming into tonight's race, Austin LaPlante. He's going to finish in 20th place, and you look on down here as we had a total of 35 cars finish on the lead lap. Chelsea Bowles was the first car lap down in 36th. Kyle Langeland, his damaged car, 2 laps down in 37th. Angel Navarro had a pit road issue, 2 laps down in 38th. Matthew Daleo, his damaged goods Ford Mustang was 39th. Patrick Curtis had an issue coming off the pit lane. Still not certain what was wrong with him. He finishes 40th, and 2 drivers finished out of the race due to mechanical problems. Glenn Dewitt in 41st. And Benny Watson in 42nd. So that is going to do it here tonight from Arizona Speedway, though. Next week, these drivers are going to go racing in the Corn State, Iowa Speedway, next on the schedule for these drivers. But tomorrow night, we cap things off with the Hershey's Cup Series race here from Arizona Speedway. That's certainly going to be an interesting one as well. And hopefully we'll see another fuel strategy race, because we had a fuel strategy race here tonight. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get to see a fuel strategy race in tomorrow night's event. But till then, I've been Seth Cole. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We've shown you full figure results. These are your rookie points and your overall points heading into next week's race at Iowa Speedway. Till then, we'll see you next time as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best.